Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Cricket Castaway. Uh, we are entering into a new era for Indian cricket with the appointment of the main man, Gautam Gambhir. And me and Divyansh are here to talk about all things that can happen in the near future. So, first of all, how are you, Divyansh? And how has this mini break after the T20 World Cup treated you?
Yeah, it's been good. Missing some cricketing action, but yeah, it's good to see that the players are getting their hard-earned break after such a grueling, such a testing tournament. So really, they deserve it, and especially the man of the tournament, Jasprit Bumrah, is the most deserved of them all. So yeah, he's getting his fair share of break, and I hope he enjoys and recovers well. And then he comes back with the same rigor against Bangladesh in Test cricket. So yeah, good to have that break for them. Am I
Yeah.
audible?
Is my voice clear? Because I thought, yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. I think there is some lag, uh, maybe due to some connection
Yeah.
problem.
I
But
think I
yeah,
think there's some, yeah. I think there's some lag. So, any which ways, we'll continue.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Rahul Dravid retired on a high, and it was good for him, considering the legend that he has been for Indian cricket, and uh, all that he has given to the country in terms of sport, to let him have that final hurrah and get his hands on that World Cup trophy. It was, I think, very important for the team as well as for Rahul Dravid. So he goes out on a high, and as we were all speculating after that, the rise of Gautam Gambhir, specifically in cricket management, was something that couldn't be ignored, I feel. Are you satisfied with BCCI's decision to go with Gautam? Do you think there were some other probably better candidates, or do you think that Gautam is right now the right man for the job?
Yeah, I think Gautam is the perfect man right now for the job. As Rahul Dravid has left a legacy that is quite hard to beat, and right now the way Gautam Gambhir has steered LSG as well as KKR, so I think he's the perfect one. Who is like, if you look at the situation of the KKR, so the youngsters are taking over the veterans. So the likes of Dreras and
Yeah,
Sunil Narayan, it's probably they only have a couple of years left in them. Similar is the case with Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma,
yeah,
and Jadeja. So the situation is similar, and he has already proved that he is a master of shepherding the youngsters, like
yeah,
turning them into a well performing unit, and carefully also use the talents of the veterans. So I think this is the perfect situation for him. And if we play
yeah.
2023 2025 champions trophy, then that skill of his would be at display for all to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there were probably only three names, if you ask me, in front of the BCCI to make the choice. So it was obviously VVS Lakshman. When Rahul Dravid took charge of the national team, VVS Lakshman then took charge of the NCA, and he was, for me, probably the next in line to take over the Indian cricket. And then there was also the name of Gautam Gambhir's batchmate Ashish Nehra, who's done particularly well with Gujarat franchisee as well. And obviously, the Indian cricket there was Gautam Gambhir. So I thought these were probably the only three names that BCCI could consider at this point of time. I think on just on the face of it, I feel like Gautam Gambhir has done probably just a bit more than Ashish Nehra at this point of time to deserve his place. A jury is still out on whether VVS Lakshman was unlucky. Uh, or it's just that Gautam Gambhir, specifically with the season with KKR, did so particularly well that he probably deserved this spot. But I think he comes with a lot of backing and a lot of support, and he has also brought in his own support staff, which is now something which I see is happening, which is new in cricket. It used to happen a lot in football. The football managers would bring in their own staff to their own club, start doing the things their own way. In cricket, management or coaching is wasn't at this point of time considered like a that, but that Gautam Gambhir has brought in with him. So he has brought in Abhishek Nair, he has brought in Ryan Tendeskate. There's also talk of probably Moni Mokel joining in as the bowling coach. So he's bringing in his own entourage. Do you think this is the right move? Should the BCCI appoint the support staff whatever uh, Gambhir feels is the best to help him do his job?
Yeah, I think this is the first time that this is happening. Usually, the support staff or the supporting unit to the head coach is like assembled on the way, and they see if someone was
Yeah,
performing well from the previous tenure, then they just continue them. But this time it's a bigger overhaul that Gautam Gambhir is bringing in, and he has specific demands like Morne Mokal,
yeah,
Rant, and Doskate, and all these Abhishek Nair. So I think he's mostly bringing a group which he trusts fully.
yeah,
So that's his major philosophy behind that. That this is the unit that I am comfortable working with. I have already worked with them in the past, and it has brought results, successful results, and
yeah,
they also trust in Gautam Gambhir, and they understand his ways of working. So I think it's a good way.
yeah,
Just you said, like in football, it has been happening since ages, but
yeah,
a new thing for cricket. Uh, we
yeah,
just saw. I think earlier there was only one or two people that head coaches used to recommend. Like I think John Wright brought the physio John Gloucester, if I am remembering correctly, or maybe it was Gary
yeah,
Kirsten. But
yeah,
only one or two recommendations
yeah,
used to be there from the coaches side, not the entire unit. So yeah, it's a
yeah,
positive change. I think
yeah,
the coach, if they are being hired for a tenure like 3 years, then they should have at least this much of
yeah,
freedom to bring their own unit and
yeah,
uh, do the things the way they prefer. So yeah, it's a good change.
yeah, yeah. But it's also probably a philosophical change in the sense that in football, because that's a reference point, management and specifically the coach is the all powerful guy in the team, right? So he decides the team, he decides who will be his captain, who will not be his captain, he decides when to sub a player off, and players basically are the generals of the coach on the pitch. In cricket, it's the team captain who is the all powerful one, and the support staff. That's why in cricket we call it the support staff and not the management per se, is because they are all there geared up to support the captain perform his duties. But first of all, Gambhir has brought in his own entourage, and that's okay, like whatever he is comfortable with. But the kind of personality that Gambhir is, he would want control of that dressing room. And and probably he will not give that to the captain, which has been the tradition in cricket. What do you feel on that dynamic? Will he probably be the ruler behind the scenes, or it'll still be the captain and he'll be the supporting unit?
I think he would want more say in the matters, definitely, because that's Gautam Gambhir
Yeah,
for us, as we know him since his playing days. So definitely there would be there would be some changes in terms of the decision making part, but I think it would work very well in the case of the T20 squads, because I think Surya Kumar Yadav would be quite supportive to Gautam Gambhir. But the interesting scenario would be what happens in Test and ODI, where Rohit Sharma is still is at the helm, and he is used to
yeah,
the calm nature of Rahul Dravid, who used to let him do things and take his own decisions and just be there for guidance. So I think
yeah,
that would be an interesting turn of
yeah,
events when we see India playing the
yeah.
ODIs against Sri Lanka and then tests against Bangladesh. So that would be an interesting scenario to see.
Yeah, I mean, we're all looking forward to this, and I am certainly very excited for Gautam Gambhir to take the reins at the helm, because it's gonna be exciting. Whatever happens, Gautam Gambhir is a feisty character, and he's a winner. He is a true winner. I don't think people respect him enough for his playing career, because for me he was one of the absolute bests, and I don't remember ever a semi-final or a final, the big day, where Gautam Gambhir hadn't performed for Team India. Like, he was just always there on the big occasion, and he would want that from this team. And we have seen since MS Dhoni retired, if we look away from this T20 World Cup win, when it came to the big occasion, the biggest of all nights, Indian team fell short, and our stars as well fell short. I don't think Gotham would take that pretty lightly, and this is going to be an interesting challenge. What do you think are the short term challenges for Gautam Gambhir and his new side?
Yeah, definitely. Uh, to have that new look of T20 squad without the likes of Jadeja, Virat, and Rohit. So it would be interesting to see what combination Gotham uses, because there are a lot of options for every position apart from the lower middle order, where like
Yeah,
Akshar and Hardik are set. But apart from that, in the top and middle order, there are a lot of options available. So especially for the opening slot and for the number 3 and number 4. So it would be interesting to whom he prioritizes, although he has already shown that in the squad selection. But also going forward, this is not one single
yeah,
tour we are talking about. There would be more T20s and
yeah,
more limited format
yeah,
cricket has to be played. And also, we would have to see, like I was just reading up on Morne Mockle. So there is a situation in his family. His father is not keeping well, so he's right now in South Africa taking care of him. So not sure if he would be able to join the Team India squad. Like it can probably take 2 or 3 months more to for Monty
yeah,
Mockle to join this, and it's still an uncertainty. So how he moves forward with the like for this
yeah,
tour, they have kept I think Sairaj Bahutule as the
yeah,
bowling coach, looking at the spin friendly conditions. Uh,
yeah,
but how they change this makeshift
yeah,
position and select someone else moving forward for the future tours, like for Australia, if Monty Mockle doesn't make it even at that time. So these are some short-term challenges, and also how he creates a environment of trust and
yeah,
you can say a motivated environment in the dressing room. That will also be a
Yeah.
thing to see, because it's a change of personalities from a Rahul Dravid to a Gautam Gambhir. So they are quite poles apart in terms of personality and how they convey their message. Their logical thinking might be the same behind the scenes, but how they convey their message and how upfront they are, how much leeway they provide the players to take. So that would be quite a shift for the players to adjust to. So I think Sri Lanka tour would be the first taste of Gautam Gambhir for us and also for the players.
Yeah, so as we all know, this is all building up and gearing up to that huge year-end series against Australia, right? So I think it'll be very important for Morne to join the side at least a month or so before we actually go to Australia, if that is if Gotham wants him desperately. So before that, I think in Indian conditions and in Sri Lankan conditions, I think we have enough wiggle room to make do without a Moni Mokal at this point of time. Also, Gautam Gambhir in these first two or three series will try to identify his best lineup. He'll try to judge the dressing room chemistry. Where is it that he needs to involve? He'll probably basically need to set a marker in these first two or three series before that big challenge against Australia. I think first of all, Gautam Gambhir is a really young guy, right? So he has a young family. Indian coaching job. It's a very taxing job. You'll have to be 6, 7, 8, probably 10 months on the road every time. So now you are allowed to have your families with you on tours and things like that. But I think that will be one of the challenges for him to navigate, because it's not like a 2 month IPL. This is a 12 month job now. So I think that on a personal level for him would be a bit tricky to navigate. On uh, on the team side of things, there are a lot of challenges that he has in front of him. So though he has said in the press conference that he sees both Virat and Rohit to play the 27 ODI World Cup, but obviously they're not getting any younger. They've already retired from the T20, so it's test and one days for them. Fitness will play a huge issue, and clash of egos can happen specifically between kind of a Kohli and Gambhir, who are two Delhi boys who haven't in the past gelled along pretty well, but both are champions and will want the best for the Indian cricket. So I hope that they'll gel along well. So these are probably the challenge. A good news, it's I think for Mayank Agarwal or Mayank Yadav, right? The fast bowler who Gautam
Mayank Yadav.
brought from Delhi to Mayank Yadav, right? Whom Gautam brought from Delhi to Lucknow, and now he is at the helm at Indian cricket team. Probably he would be keeping an eye on Mayank Yadav, probably to integrate him in next year's T20 tours at least, because Gautam has basically found him. I think also with the ODI captaincy, probably after the Champions Trophy, I think, which is my thought process, is I think Gautam would want to bring in Shreyas Iyer a lot more, and probably that will be a thing for him and Rohit to discuss. So I think these are a few of the challenges which I face. I see Gautam facing, but the biggest one is Hardik versus Surya, right? Because in franchisee cricket in Mumbai Indians, Hardik is the captain. Gautam has picked Surya as his captain for the T20 series against Sri Lanka, and Surya was also Gautam's vice captain when Gautam was in KKR, right?
Yes.
So Surya was also in KKR, and Surya was the vice captain then. The rationale that Ajit Agarkar has given is is that Hardik isn't fit for all the three formats, and we can't always. We need to give him a lot of breaks to get the best out of him, and Surya is always there. So Surya becomes the captain for the T20s, but Surya doesn't play one day that much and test matches that much.
Yeah.
So ultimately, this was a T20 choice that they've taken, and they've put Surya above Hardik, which is going to be a big clash of ego, specifically because Hardik was also the vice captain in the T20 World Cup that India won. So he was expecting to be elevated to that captain, and we know how ambitious Hardik is. That's why came back to Mumbai to be the captain. So this
Yes.
dynamic, I think, is specifically very interesting to see. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. Uh, there is some truth to the fitness issues of Hardik Pandya. We cannot rely on him to be available for every T20 tour because once he gets injured, he goes for a long break. So, and Surya Kumar Yadav, in the hindsight, have been quite regular in the T20 squad, and there has not been any major injury issues. So, if you look at that aspect, and also he's slightly more experienced than Hardik Pandya, so even that comes in the accounting factor as well. But I think, yeah, apart from these two, we can say makeshift reasons, or just sort of not very strong reasons, there was nothing to separate the two in
Yeah.
terms of
I
choice of
think
captain.
Hardik has had more captaincy experience than Surya. Definitely,
Yes,
he's an
yes,
IPL winner as a captain, and he's now captaining the Mumbai Indians side, and he's
right.
also been vice captain all this while. I don't think I think it'll be a bitter pill for Hardik to swallow, specifically
Yeah,
now that a lot has been happening in his personal life as well. I think all of these things came into consideration. Gautam probably thought, is Hardik is in the right mind space right now as well with everything that's happening personally. It can't be easy for a human being. And Surya, I think he's gone with his selection. That's what we said. Like he right now seems like Gautam Gambhir is who will be the all powerful guy in the team, because I don't see Surya captaining the one day side. If you ask me, it's Rohit for now, and then it's gonna be Shreyas, is what I understand. Shreyas is whom Gautam brought in
yes,
the Delhi side when he was in Delhi and made Shreyas the captain then. And then when he reached Kolkata, Shreyas was the captain who won the IPL under him. So I think Shreyas is going to be his long-term ODI and T20 captain and a Test match captain for that matter. I think that is where his vision lies. So Hardik, I don't think now that he has been dropped from the T20 captaincy, I don't think he's getting the captaincy anytime soon for Indian cricket.
right. That's true. And maybe if he just proves it, his fitness, maybe plays for an year or so without any injuries, then there might be a chance. And that would also need to be coupled with a drop in form of Surya Kumar Yadav. Then something can happen. Otherwise, I think
Yeah,
it's going to be Surya till he plays, and then it would be Shreyas Iyer, because also Hardik is not getting any
yeah.
younger, so that's
Yeah,
also
but
the thing.
even that, like, there is a counter argument to that in the sense that Shubman Gill has been made vice captain for all three formats.
Yeah.
So the counter argument is that they see probably Shubman Gill as taking over from both Rohit and Surya as an all format captain, and even that can happen, and that like I don't think Shreyas Iyer would like that very much. But I think that's why probably they have put Shubman Gill as the vice captain in all three formats. So there is one more
Candidate, yes.
horse in the race. Yeah.
Definitely there
So
is one more horse in the
that's about
race.
it. Yeah, yeah. This will be really interesting to watch. But so the next series, the Sri Lanka series, is right on the corner. In fact, it's the first game starts today night. Uh, what are you hoping to see from this game, first of all?
Yeah, I want to see a better fight than what we saw in Zimbabwe versus India. So like both were fairly uh, young squads, and that was like more of a you can say it's just a playing chance for Zimbabwe, and it was for India to try out all youngsters team, like how they perform, who are the players that can be trusted for the future. So that was more of a, you can say, dress rehearsal kind of a series, just for the sake of it, to see how the B team fares, or uh, how the players, how the unit which does not have the legends, how they fare uh, in a overseas tour. So it was for that. But against Sri Lanka, it would be the big guns are back, at least who are still playing T20. And also Sri Lanka is a far better team than Zimbabwe, and they have their experienced player as well as the young blood. So Charita Salanka is captaining the side. So they have removed Angelo Matthews, who has been their old war horse, like since ages. I think like since I was a kid, I am seeing Angelo Matthews playing for Sri Lanka. So that's how long he has
Yeah,
been playing. But now they
yeah.
have
Another
decided
Shakib.
that, yeah, another Shakib or another Shahid Afridi we can call.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so he is that kind of a player. I think since Shahid Afridi was playing, Angelo Matthews was also
yeah,
on the international turf. So
yeah,
now they have decided that it's time to bring a change, and now we have to trust on the youngsters and the upcoming players from Sri Lanka. So I think this is a good squad. This they have Dasun Shanaka as well. Kosal Mendes is also there, and Hasaranga is back, and they have then Theekshana, who is playing very well for
yeah,
CSK. So I think it's a fairly decent side, and which can, on its home turf, can give a strong competition to any international side. And I think it would be a good challenge for India to test the present T20 strength. Now they like without Bumrah and without Shami, how they fare
yeah,
against a decent
yeah,
side. So it would be a good challenge for
yeah,
Indian cricket team.
yeah. I think first of all, a very welcome rest for Bumrah. To be honest, I think the next important series for him is the Australia series. So if he can, we have to wrap him up in cotton wool, and let him take his sweet time to come back. But yeah, I think an interesting series, a series that I expect India to win all the games of, without a doubt, because we are far stronger side than Sri Lanka. But yeah, in their home turf, they can surprise us. Uh, 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 I would say a good series for Gautam's first series, in the sense there won't be a lot of pressure on him. He can tinker with his tactics and things like that. Uh, um, as you've rightly mentioned, Sri Lanka is a resurgent side. It's a young side, so we can't take them too lightly. Uh, but a good breeding ground for the first series for Gautam Gambhir. Who do you see as openers for this India side in this game?
I think it's going to be Yashasvi and Shubman Gill. So that those are the two designated, and I think rightfully so, because they have been doing it for, especially Shubman Gill has been doing it for quite a long time. So maybe they just want to give them another chance to prove themselves.
Yeah,
Although they have not been consistent, and like Yashasvi did not get any chance in the T20 World Cup. So I think it's time for them to prove their mettle. So it
yeah.
would be Shubman and Yashasvi for me.
Don't you feel now that Virat is not in the lineup, Shubman probably is better off at number three, and to start with Abhishek? I mean, it's just the upside that this boy brings. He'll either get out, or he'll take the game away from the opposition. Why don't you think India can go that route and put Shubman Gill at number three?
That route is quite possible, I think, but Abhishek has not generated enough trust for Gautam Gambhir to make him choose him in the squad. So
Yeah.
he has not
But
been even
Gotham is
considered for
known
the
to go
16.
with a yeah. But Gotham is known to go with a dasher, right? He goes with Narayan all the time, and
Yes.
just to get that early impetus. So I think Abhishek, and I actually don't know why he hasn't been selected for, because I think this was a perfect time and a perfect series to get him in, and probably just see how much he can deliver, because it was a Zimbabwe side, but he did get 100 in there, and
Yeah.
pretty good one as well. Because India had already lost their first game. The second game was very important. Otherwise, the momentum would have shifted. And in that match, he was supreme. I think. So I think that he could have given a shout to Abhishek.
Yeah, definitely. Probably he is trying to bring in more all rounders. Although Abhishek also does have a fairly handy spinner. He is a decent spinner, not very lethal,
Yeah,
but he is a decent spinner. But probably right now Gautam is looking at all rounders like Washington Sundar and Shivam Dubey. So I see a lot of them.
yeah,
Hardik Pandya is obviously there, and then there
yeah,
is Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar, and Riyan Parag, Shivam Dubey. So
yeah,
I think he's going for the proven all rounder route. But I think this is just he testing the waters. But if this does
yeah,
not work out, like I am highly doubtful if Riyan Parag would be successful if he gets a chance in this series. So then I
yeah,
think the next move should be to bring in someone like Abhishek Sharma who can destroy from the top and also give you a couple of overs of spin in spin friendly
yeah,
conditions. So I think the stage was
yeah,
set for Abhishek, but I think Gautam first want to
yeah,
like take a punt on the already proven guys in the IPL.
yeah,
So
yeah. Also, I felt a little hard done by with the non-selection of Rituraj. I mean,
yes,
what does this guy need to do? Similar case with
yeah,
Sanju Samson.
Sanju Samson is there in the squad, but we all know that Rishabh Pant will get the first
Yeah,
go in the playing 11.
obviously.
So it's the similar situation like MS Dhoni versus Dinesh Karthik. Like both are talent, both were equally
Yeah,
talented. It's just that the only separating factor is that absolute. You can say even like in the strike rates also Sanju Samson is pretty great. So I don't know how to separate them because in Dinesh
yeah,
Karthik and MS Dhoni there was a factor of the strike rate and Dhoni was a more
yeah,
explosive batsman than Dinesh Karthik,
yeah.
at least in their first decade
Prime.
of their
Yeah,
career, yeah, in their prime. But it's not the case here. But maybe just that X factor, the kind of shots, outrageous shots that Rishabh Pant plays, maybe that is giving him an edge. Otherwise, if we look at the keeping abilities, the batting capabilities are almost at par. So I
yeah,
don't see any significant
yeah,
factor that can be used to prioritize Rishabh Pant over Sanju Samson. So it would be
yeah,
interesting to see if Sanju gets a look in maybe in the last two matches of the
yeah.
series.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be really hard for Rituraj now to come
Yes.
back to into this side, simply because mostly he plays like anchor role in the side most of the times, and
Yes.
he's suited pretty much to number three. And as you rightly said, with Rishabh batting at number three, though we don't know if Gautam would prefer Rishabh at number three or down the order, but if Rituraj doesn't play as an opener or as a number three, there is no place for him in this side. And the opening slot is
Correct.
already so jam packed, it's only number three for him. And I don't think that he's getting into that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's about that. But good amount of faith being shown in Shivam Dube, and Rinku is Gautam's boy, so Rinku will get his chances.
Yeah.
What do you think
Definitely.
about the middle order? Is it, as you rightly said, Riyan Parag will be given the first shot, or do we see Rinku Singh coming in straight away along with Shivam Dube, who has already been the part of the side?
I think he might try out Riyan Parag with Rinku Singh, and it might be Shivam Dube that does not get the first chance because these are spin-friendly conditions, and Riyan Parag is a handy spinner and also a good lower middle order batsman. Like he also goes the same route of hitting sixes at the end. And
Hmm.
although Rinku Singh doesn't bowl, but Shivam Dube is
Yeah.
a seaming all rounder, which is not required in Sri Lanka at least because these are more spin friendly
Yeah.
conditions. It might be an exception like the Asia Cup we saw last year where Siraj wreaked havoc. So if the conditions are like that, maybe Shivam Dube gets a priority because if the ball is moving in the air, then Shivam Dube is a better choice than Riyan Parag. But I think Riyan Parag might get an upper hand in the first match uh, over Shivam Dube. And Rinku is his blue-eyed boy,
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah.
Rinku will definitely get a chance at number seven.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and we also think like Akshar is now free from Jadeja's shadow and is a mainstay
Yes,
in this team.
definitely. Now he's an automatic
Yeah.
selection in the squad.
Yeah. And was she probably the backup for Akshar?
Yeah, Washi would be the backup for Akshar. But if they want to consolidate batting, then maybe they instead of Ravi Bishnoi they take Washington Sundar because Washington Sundar is also a handy power play bowler like Ashwin. So if they are considering that factor, then he might also get a chance. Then we just play with two seamers, Ashdeep and Siraj.
Yeah. So is Akshar Patel.
Yeah, so is Akshar Patel. So also he also bowled in the power plays for in the T20 World Cup. So it's a call which can be taken at the before toss, just looking at the pitch, how the conditions are, and if they want to play Washington Sundar. Otherwise, yeah, by default he's just a backup option for Akshar Patel.
About it, we don't have Bumrah in this side, so the pace bowling is something that we'll keep an eye on. I think it's a good chance for somebody like a Mukesh to show his chops and mm, stake a claim into this side. But yeah, it's just that without Bumrah, we do lack that X factor, and I really hope the sooner Mayank Yadav comes into the fold for this side, the better, because that's another X factor that this team is craving for.
Yeah,
So I
definitely.
think that's our episode. Any last words and before we wrap up, Divyansh?
Yeah, just it would be interesting to see if who gets this gets the ball talking. Would it be Ashdeep or is Siraj has come back to his form because Sri Lanka has been the hunting ground for Mohammad Siraj and he has won us the Asia Cup final last year. So just Would like to see if Siraj is back in form, because he was quite out of color during the last few months. So let's see if he has gained back his confidence.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, a good series to look forward to over the weekend,
Definitely.
and
Yeah,
we'll keep an eye on it, and let's see how this first stint of Gautam Gambhir goes, and yeah, excitement. This is a new circle. This is a new cycle. Which will probably finish with the T20 with the ODI World Cup in 2027. So we probably have a 3-year cycle starting, and it's always great to when you're beginning a journey again. So
definitely.
guys, this was the cricket castaway. Do keep liking and subscribing and keep pouring your love for the channel. And yeah, this is Nishant and Divyansh, your co-fans of the Indian cricket. And yeah, signing off and looking forward to this India versus Sri Lanka series.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.